Hello.
Hello, and welcome to the fabulous Making Comics and Art, episode
Yes.
348. Jesus Christ. Um, all right, all right. So I gotta improve my setup. It is what it is. You don't mind.
Right. He's all licking my lotion. Yes, I know you're so cute. You
So
fuck.
with me today is Spam, the cat.
Yeah, I call him my little ramen noodle fuck. See, if you look at the pattern here, he looks like a fucking packet of dried ramen. And I need to cut his claws because his sister's claws and like they're getting too much.
So yeah, I'm gonna ink this piece. If you haven't already seen it,
It is a little.
Christine penciled this, and I'm going to ink it and have some fun. Lots going on.
Right.
Um, I'm all over the place. Talking with my boss on Faction Paradox, which is the biggest project I'll be working on. Total will be 150 pages. We're going over details for the Kickstarter. It looks like we might do it next year instead of this month. Don't hold me to it. It's all a work in progress.
Right.
um, but yeah, I'll know definitely for sure soon.
Oh,
And supposedly Jim Caffery finished the cover for the I think it's going to be like if you want it as a soft cover or a hard cover on a Kickstarter. Um, but yeah, he's doing one of the covers. Les Lyndon Gardner, who's going to be penciling the book, except for the Jim Caffery pages from 22 years ago. He's doing a cover. Les is doing a cover, but also um, 12 other people.
damn.
So I don't think all 12 are going to be covers per se, um, but there'll be a batch of covers.
Right.
Um, so that should be really interesting. I saw the finished sketch by Jim for the
Mhm.
cover, which has the sort of villain of it. So that looks pretty cool. Um, so the lighting situation I got to improve here. It's not great for work, but if I fix it for me, then you won't be able to see
Oh,
it
you're
at
going.
all.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, faction. This okay. So this month, October, I want to get Hawk of New York fully inked. I'm not even sure. I'm at least a third in to inking that book. Um, I'm juggling way too much, but I'm trying to make more money. Um, so yeah, I'm like available for commissions. A friend of mine, Neil, just posted on my Facebook, who's an artist. Um, he's looking to do some commissions, but if you want both of us, that's also an option. This piece, when I'm done, will be available for sale. And I got some other things I'll be working on
Mhm.
that I'll be selling as well.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and getting done a bunch of things this month. Diving into inks on faction.
Mhm.
I usually start off slow, especially when working over a new artist. I mean, I did one piece over less, but this is different. This is 20 pages. But it's going well so far. I showed you sneak peek.
Yeah, it's looked really good. I like the Galacticus piece as well.
Yeah, Galactus piece. Joe Miller colored it, and I had some things to say about it, but I'm also thinking like people are receptive to, the few people that have seen it already are receptive to it. So we might just tweak one or two things and make it available as is as prints. Since essentially he commissioned me on that, the original was going to him. But he's going to be doing another piece with a slew of X-Men and a what do they call the big robot?
Which robot and where?
In the X-Men.
Oh, the ones that capture the mutants and neutralize them?
Yeah.
Sentinels. They're called Sentinels.
Yeah, Sentinels. So a big double page spread with a bunch of X-Men and giant Sentinel. He's going to attempt, and I'll be inking that. Now that will be our next collaboration and eventual print together. As soon as I get some time, I got to start practicing on my iPad, coloring myself.
Actually, well, the problem with iPad, what I like is Clip Studio Paint. I don't know, like I've used Photoshop for years, but I stopped several years ago because it would just chug so bad. And then the brushes are very generic, no matter how much you fiddled with it, and it was always having problems. Like what would make me mad about it is that when nothing interrupts your workflow, like you put the stylus on and you're beginning to draw, and it's like, oh, here's a wheel. It's thinking. I'm like, really? What I like about Clip Studio Paint, it works a lot like Illustrator, Photoshop, but the pens or the brushes, and there's actually free brushes that other users make, and it is very convincing for watercolor to, ballpoint to pencil to, like, it's very good. So, and it's really very resource low. The only problem, if you do it on your iPad, I know it's just a subscription service, so that's kind of a pain in the ass right there. That's funny. When I said pain in the ass, you're like doing her butt.
Oh, you mean subscription for Clip Paint?
For Clip Studio Paint, if you're doing on Procreate, because on technically mobile devices, and you could double check, it might have changed. Because I have a Surface, it kind of qualifies as quote unquote a laptop. So I bought another license, which is really cheap. It's like, depending on when you get it, it's like 50% off. So you can get it at $25. And so I put it on my Surface as well as I put it on my main desktop.
Well, I'm not versed in Photoshop, definitely, because I don't have that at all. Never had it. Clip Paint I have on my computer, but I barely know it. I've seen what people could do in Procreate, and I'm very interested in using that.
If you can get Procreate, I heard that's the go-to. I've never used it.
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've never used it because I don't have an iPad, but for that level, I have an iPad mini and stuff, but I've never used it for that. But I mean, as I said, whatever works.
Yeah.
Like go with what works. I heard Procreate's really good.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with what it can do.
Yeah.
And also, like, I have a very particular thing I want to attempt, so it's I don't need all the bells and whistles. Years ago, I followed this guy, Chris Oatley.
Oh yeah, I remember Chris Oatley. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could say we're loose friends. I haven't been talking to him in years and years, but anyway, for those that don't know, he's painter, digital painter. I think it was him who said it, but essentially, you don't need a million brushes as long as you have a round one. Then that's all you really need. You know, I know people like gaga over all these brushes, but you really don't need them.
No, I mean, to be really frank, it's nice to have options, but I know there was one comic creator that said, well, you know, I'm not well versed in art supplies or brushes. It's like, honestly, you go with what works.
Yeah.
It's nice to know all the tools and everything, but really it's like, what do you do with them? Like Frank Cho, I think he does mostly ballpoint pen and you could see his work.
Yeah.
So it's like ballpoint pen, what is that? You can get that anywhere, right? And everybody's like, oh, ballpoint pen, fucking whatever. But you can do good things with it. You just have to be familiar with the tool. And if you're familiar with what the tool is and you can use it good, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I find it kind of funny with that type of stuff.
You know, it's just like with a lot of artists, it's a go-to thing to offer to fans. Like, yeah, here's a million brushes I made for free if you sign up for my newsletter. So it's just an overabundance of brushes out there.
Right.
But yeah, I remember like Chris did a tutorial about it, I believe. And it was like, yeah, you take the round brush and this is how you paint. And this is, you know, yeah, that makes 1,000% sense.
I hear you on that. But yeah. Oh, but yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I mean, it looks great. I had fun working with a piece. And it was kind of weird. I was slightly nervous because it wasn't like something that I was doing entirely of. So it's like, okay, I don't want to be like all going like, all right, how do I go about that or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of like, okay, I mean, it's weird because it's like pencils should be enough, but I didn't want my pencils to be so obscure that you didn't know what the fuck I was going at. So that was like one of the things that I sort of like was had in my mind. So wow, something just blared out at me for some reason. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, you know, like for a lot of people who've never worked with an inker, it's always a strange thing.
Yeah. Look, I never had an issue with it. It's just usually I just worked with a writer and I did everything. So
yeah.
So, but it's looking so far good so far.
Oh. I haven't started.
It's kind of funny when I said, "Oh, but this is happening," and then you were working on her butt, which was hilarious. Like I think we were talking. I think I made jokes about Frazetta. Like he loved butt like that.
I'm a butt guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was just like. It's kind of funny. He was one of those rare guys. Like he would either done really good in Major League Baseball or in art. He chose art, thank God. But it was kind of funny. Like either way, he would have been really good at something.
Yeah, I mean, aren't a lot of people like that? Like, you know, what you think you want to do it as a kid isn't necessarily where you go in life.
Interests change or like focal points. Like I wanted to be an animator, then I realized, oh fuck, animation is all this other shit. And again, I'm not trying to shit on animators; they do a good job. But it's like I was kind of like, oh man, I have to draw these like design styles and all this all the time. You know, somebody else's design style. And it's like with me, it's like, but you draw Demon Bitch all the time. Yeah, I do, but it's not quite like what you think. It's like I draw it when I do the cartoon and then I have control. But if it's like animating it, it's like I don't really have control over it, you know?
Well, you know, I love animation too, and I never seriously considered animation as a career path, but it's definitely something, you know, if I ever have free time, which I won't, I'd love to do.
I mean, it's easier
Um,
now. It's easier now with AI and all this other stuff. And now,
well,
like, even before AI, it would
yeah,
animate in
but
between the. Well, I mean, what I mean now, like what it was is that even before when AI became the thing, computer animation got to advance. It would actually, you would just put one or two
I
keyframes and
don't
it would.
want to talk about AI. There's options out there that there's animation programs that are really easy that are available,
Yeah.
and you can do some, pretty decent animation. It's just, it's like making a comic. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but I love animation. There's so many good things out there.
Right.
So many. Have you seen Flow?
I heard about it. Are you mentioning
Oh,
because I have a black cat?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, some people have mentioned Flow to me, but I heard it's good. It's about like a flood or a tsunami and how a cat like lives through it.
yeah. It's more his adventure because of it. Um, it's really good. I mean, there's so many great animated movies. I mean, it's like I love 2D, but I also love 3D. Then there's like, what Into the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man movies are doing. There was Arcane on Netflix, which was phenomenal. It's all different styles and approaches.
Right. Yeah. I'm also like watching traditional inking. When I use the pen, I use like not the ink and the brush, but more of like the actual marker kind of stuff. I think I have it in here. Uh,
What do you mean, watching me or somebody else?
no,
At
no,
the
just
moment,
you with a quill. With a quill, like this is the type of ink that I have right here. God
I
damn.
love Quill. It would
Yeah.
take me much longer to do this piece in Quill.
Well, yeah. Here, this is what I mean. Like, there's the Japanese brushes, like pens right here, and micros that I've used.
Is that
Because
put it to the camera again?
yeah,
It,
it's
oh,
like
okay. Because it looked like the back end for a second. So
yeah,
that's
no,
a
no,
brush.
no.
That's a brush.
That's a no, that's a pen. That's a pen, but it's a
Oh,
calligraphy
okay.
pen. Here's another one.
Right. Yeah.
So that has a brush tip. So I prefer those because like I have this habit of getting really messy and it irritates me and frustration is my biggest enemy. So I mean I've learned how to work through frustration better and better, but it's just sometimes I just want to get shit taken care of.
No,
So
I mean, lots of people using, you know, inkers. I didn't even know are using, like microns and just regular markers and whatnot. Some are using brush pens, etc. Um, it's fine, you know, depending on your style and depending on what you're inking. Like, you could use anything. I could use a micron and still make it look like I inked it with a brush because I know what a brush does, the end results and all that.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, one thing with microns and markers like that is that you can get really fucking great cross action.
Right, right. I mean, it's like a lot of like there are times I've seen Jim Lee, and it's the one that actually just comes to mind more often. But
Right.
where he like seemed like he just dribbled a bunch of ink on a paper and just smeared it around. I'm like, wow, I don't know how like because usually I've done that. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm not trying to say that I'm one of those hypercritical artists that goes like, oh, I just spilled something. But it's like with that much ink, you're like, okay, how's he going to do it? And he just turns it around. I'm like, oh, well, that works. But sometimes you just have to like play like a kid on your stuff, basically. But he
Yeah.
mixes up a lot of cross hatching. He mixes up a lot of shading, but then he does a lot of like ink, like full on painting with ink. So it's just like you just play with it however works for you. And there's some artists that don't really put that much ink or whatever.
Yeah. It's all according to what you want the end result to be. And then you should use, you should play around with different mediums and traditional and digital and, just try everything. Painting like acrylics and oil. And, it's like one of the things that's relaxing, but not, I guess, it's like I watch painters work. That's another thing, like like animation. If I wasn't doing everything I'm doing, I would be painting.
Oh yeah, what kind of medium of paint would you do? Oil or acrylic or what?
I do acrylic or watercolor, gouache, those sort of things. I don't think I would do oil. I love the result of oil, but I don't want to get into oils because of the stench. Really.
What's weird is they have water-based oils now, which is weird, but it does take a while to cure. Like I've never worked in oil, but from what I've heard of other people with oil, it takes over a week to cure. It's like, damn. And it's just, yeah, the smell, like the turpentine. Although now they have I forgot what the term is, but the low odor turpentine to like they call it a certain something. I don't know if they use it anymore, but it was like several years ago that I saw it. There was also low odor turpentine. There was and they have water-based oils, which was weird. So you can rinse it off in the oil, rinse off the oil paint in water, which is the weirdest thing because, it's oil. I preferred watercolor and acrylics because it was just more straightforward and I just could deal with it. And it wasn't so toxic.
Yeah, I've worked with both acrylic and watercolor and not to a heavy extent, but I played with them. I like the results.
Right.
I don't think I've done gouache, but
gouache is fun.
I've seen plenty of artists use gouache, and it's amazing what you can do with it.
Right. Yeah. My cat just urticated hairs in my face. He's like a little tarantula. He'll get up and he'll go up and he'll want to cuddle. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, I just shed in your face. Ha ha. Yeah. So if you see me touching my face like this, it's like literally he's like a tarantula. He urticates these hairs up in my face.
Yeah. I mean, even like, even my cat who doesn't really shed, I brush him every once in a while, but you can get those stray hairs and
no, he's a little asshole because he'll like actually he'll like urticate. I've seen him do it. It's really weird. Because cats normally shed. I'm not saying they never do. It's just he tends to go like when I pick him up and or he's on me, my arms. He just does this okay, so if you guys don't understand, hey, cricket painter, what's up? If you don't if you get tarantulas, okay, so what tarantulas do, how old ass itching powder or old school itching powder worked was they use tarantula hair, and tarantula hair is very irritating. So let's say if there's a predator coming in to go and eat the tarantula, it like literally kicks off the hair off its back and stomach. Like it literally takes its back legs and kicks it. And then it just like lands in their face and it itches them. That's why it's distracting. But it's kind of funny. So I was just like kind of laughing. It's like, yeah, he's like a tarantula. He urticates hairs in my face. Like he just sheds even more. Like it's not like I'm allergic to cat fur. I'm not, but how he just does it, he's like, and it just spikes into my skin. And like, that's why I don't want to scratch my skin and cut up my skin. But that's why it's like us girls tap our skin when we're itchy. Because they're just like, and also touching your face, you can put bacteria on it and everything. But yeah, he urticates hairs in my face. It's not just, oh, he just sheds. No, he urticates it. Like even Ink, when I pick her up, she doesn't do that. And she sheds fine. She sheds normal, but I don't know what it is. It's like this weird defense mechanism, even though he's wanting to jump in my arms. It's like, oh, I'm going to urticate all these hairs all of a sudden. So it's like this. He has shed when he's been stressed or upset. Like when I cut his nails, he'll shed. I mean, cats are known to do that.
Yeah.
But he's been known to do that. But cats are known to do that. But no, he'll just jump in my arms and just shed in my face. Like, it's like you urticate hairs everywhere.
So, Crooked Painter, you working on anything right now? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe I looked a long time ago, but I'm not sure if I've actually seen your work.
Yeah, you talk about it, but what we haven't seen, I haven't seen what you've done. I mean, that's not a, oh, eradicate, no, urticate. URT. It's really fucking early in the morning. URTICATE. If you look at it, urticate, it's like the sudden shedding. But yeah, but I was wondering what you do, because I know you do art, but I'm not sure. I've never seen samples of your work. And again, this is not a call out or diss. It's just never saw it, because like I see you mostly on YouTube and Instagram. At the moment, is it like, so you paint stuff on pottery? I take it. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. I don't know what they call that kind of painting, but I worked with pottery for a long time as a kid.
You have to cook it afterwards, I think.
Hmm?
You have to cook the vases afterwards, after you paint them.
There's usually 2 firings. This is what I remember. Okay, so there's bisque fire, which is the primary thing. So first of all, you do the pottery, right? You let it dry, get desiccated, and then you do the initial kiln fire, which is, I think, a bisque firing. And again, don't quote me, it's been years. But then you take it out, and that's when you glaze it and put the slip on it. Like the slip is like liquid clay, right? So you paint on that before you do the bisque fire, but after it's dry. But then after you do the bisque fire, you do the glaze. And the glaze is like, it can have elements like metal to molten glass. I mean, the glass is so fine, you're not going to get cut on it. And they paint it, and it's going to look very different. But once it gets the second firing, then you'll see the full effects. And one of my favorite colors was Humboldt blue, because it was like this deep blue, but there were all these other colors that irradiated through it that were really cool, that were not blue. But raku is kind of one of the things where it's shiny, but you do that on the second firing. But when you dip it, can look like this really dull color and rust red and everything. But yeah. Oh, acrylic paint, coat epoxy. So it's just basically after there's a final firing, you paint it on there. Gotcha. Because I know people that do pottery, and yeah. And then there's also different types of clay. There's earthenware, which is the most rough one. That's like the rough looking one. To terracotta, there's also fine china porcelain. So porcelain's very fine. I mean, there's like a lot of things, but there's different types of clay. But usually it'll come in different colors. Like earthenware is very red, like as a clay. And then there's porcelain, which is kind of gray, but it'll fire. And then there's celadon and everything.
You know too much.
I mean, I'm not a potter, but I know about it. I didn't I wasn't very good at throwing clay. I was good at hand building. Throwing clay is not literally like you throw clay. You just like literally put it on a wheel and then you spin it.
Yeah.
Shape it.
Like Ghost, the movie.
Yeah, that's throwing clay. Yeah, pretty much. Except I don't know how they could have had sex afterwards, because I've worked with clay like that. Like I've tried to throw a few pieces and your hands get really gunked up with like clay.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So she would have to take a moment to wash her hands off.
It's like sex at the beach. Yeah.
Yes, I heard Sam
on camera, but
yeah, well, yeah, I've known some people that have done that. One girl did that for her first time, and I'm like going, well, I don't think that was really good. Sand, I hear it gets everywhere. Let's just say very bluntly.
Their first time's not great anyway, but
Yeah, but I mean, now like it has this term, and I know we're going there, but it's like sandy vagina. It's like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'm sure that's not good. So that was funny. I mean, just like, it's like the terms like, stop getting your sand in your vagina kind of thing. So that's all I'm going to say, because I know we want to keep this kind of relatively okay for kids, but it's like, that's a term that we
Well,
10 years ago for somebody being butthurt about everything.
when YouTube cracked down on, is this video for kids? I put mine as no for all of it. Because I just don't want to have to pick and choose every time.
Yeah, right. So she's looking really good.
Thanks. I'm just sort of blocking out things, and I'll get specific, just blocking out things I could spend, a couple of hours on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, usually I just paint glass faces and make jewelry, earrings, necklaces, and pendants and make geodes. That's nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Creative is creative is creative.
Right.
It's funny, like my family, it's 4 boys and my parents. All of us were good at art except for my mom. But I always considered my mom very creative, like, because entertaining kids when they're young, you have to be creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just wasn't good at drawing, but she was great at everything else.
And who is this again? I didn't quite catch it. It kind of
My
blocked
mom.
me. Oh, your mom? Yeah, my mom actually did painting. It was weird. Like, she was studying languages to be a diplomat initially, when one of her aspirations. She later became a top 5% real estate agent in Silicon Valley. But one of the things that she did, like, I remember going inside her garage and there were these paintings, and I'm like, she did those? And it was actually not bad. Like, she didn't have, as far as I know, she didn't have any formal art training, but she had enough skill. Like, it's weird as artists, like, when we get to a certain point, we can see if a person had potential or not, or has, And my mom took it up again, and I said, well, why not? And I encouraged her. I said, like, well, you have skill. Why don't you do it? So she did it for a little bit, but I don't know if it really interested her in the way it does me. So.
I think, like, my mom sewed. So, like, those things you see on a wall that like pictures done with, forget what it's called. Just like, it looks like carpet when it's done.
It looks like what again?
Like carpet. Like,
macrame. There's macrame and crochet.
Yeah, crochet, I guess.
Crochet has the shorter threads, and then macrame is like the woven stuff, like the cables and all that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she did both. I forget exactly, but she did a lot of those, like, get kits and do them up, sometimes as gifts or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like all boys, all us boys, we drew, and we got that, from my dad. Like, he worked 6 days a week. I barely saw him. I don't know about my brothers, like how they were raised, but he every once in a while, like, get some paper and a pen and start drawing horses or cowboys.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird for us artists that do it full time, how anybody could do it as a hobby, but they just do it as a hobby, I guess, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
That's how they relax. You know, us, it's like, we have to do it because this is us. And, you know, with other people that do it, it's like, how could you do that? You gave up somehow. And it's like, well, maybe not. They just want to keep it as a hobby, you know?
well, a lot of what I post that isn't finished work is just sketches, and
Right.
that to me is like super relaxing, just a sketch.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I could totally understand, like, you know, just doing it for fun. You know, and especially like, you know, back a couple of generations, like, you know, not everything has to be for content or you know.
Yeah, she's looking pretty good. I think how I shaded in the pencils, I'm actually pretty happy, because sometimes it's like hard with shading, like what you should really do or decide to do, minimal shading or a lot of shading, because it also reflects lighting. I don't know. I'm just like kind of thinking to myself.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you know, like, I'm not making any I really needed more sleep. Any decisions on this yet? But I'm kind of looking at it right now as if it was an animation cell. Like, I'm keeping it simple, but I will probably add a lot of fine detail to it, but that will not greatly influence it.
yeah. No, I was just thinking when I was drawing it.
Yeah.
It's like kind of weird because you don't want to do too much shading, because I've been there where I did too much shading. I'm like, oh shit. But then I did too little. And I'm like, I don't know. Because you kind of like, it's like weird. I can find people with like a lot of line work and it doesn't look too heavy, but I've seen other line work that looks way too heavy. Like, dude, kind of grade 8 or something. But then there's some people that like barely draw anything and then it works for them or it doesn't. I don't know. It's like weird. It's like, you know, when it's right, when it is, when you get to be an artist, because like you can get taught fundamentals, but you just got to work on what works for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what artists need to know. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't improve and you shouldn't not do that, but sometimes you have to like kind of see what works for you and see what's going on with that.
Yeah. You know, it's like, in many ways I like the original my brain is dead.
Yeah, I know, my brain is kind of I had 2 mugs of coffee, but I'm like, you know.
I was going, yeah, I was working before this and getting into a lot of details about things. So all my all my energy went to that.
Right.
Embellisher was an early term for inking. And in many ways that expresses it more than just saying inking, or you know, it's not tracing, it's embellishing.
Right.
And some inkers do it to the point where it becomes the art becomes their style. Some inkers, you can't even tell who inked it. You know, it looks more like the penciler. So it really, you know, it really depends. Like, you know, that's why great comic book teams of penciler inker are created, because, you know, it's like some artists work great with certain inkers, and you know, like Jim Lee is a perfect example. You know, him and Scott Williams look fantastic. You know, John Byrne with Terry Austin's freaking fantastic.
Now, Rob Liefeld would kind of do both, right? I mean, they all did both, but you get what I mean.
I don't remember if he inked a lot of his work early on or during Image days. I didn't really keep track of his. You know,
Well, it's interesting.
I think he had inkers, like, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I know those guys like worked for each other and they interchanged, but it's interesting too. And I'm not saying that these guys were all the same, but they were, you know, how like Neil Adams, George Perez, they kind of had the same house of style. And then Image they kind of had a certain house of style. They weren't all the same, but you could tell like this was from this generation. This was that from that generation.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they can't grow or anything, but it is what it is. You know, it's just like, okay, your inherent style is that. Mine is just called fucked up. So I don't know what the hell that is, but
it had everything to do with the fact that, you know, like you had all the speculators come in and everybody was buying comics and Image was a big move. So everybody was interested in what they were doing. So they made a bundle. So everybody got paid phenomenally well, which doesn't normally exist. So they spent 3 days on a page, you know.
Right.
And when you spend 3 days on a page, it looks more a certain way than anything else, you know.
Well, I mean, the thing is that like for a long time, like comics were in America were considered a fuck off art. Like, yeah, you draw nice, but it was like something to throw shit away with, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to insult people. It's just the comics in Europe are considered very different than over here. I've been to France, I've been to Spain, I've been all over, and I even talked with people that I knew. Like one of my tour guides, he's French, and I talked to him about heavy metal, and he's like, "Oh, Metal Holland, yes," and he was like so happy about it. And it's like we nerded out on that.
Speaking of butts, no, yeah, I don't know in other countries, but in America, you know, Will Eisner essentially created comic books.
Right.
I don't know, you know, like I don't know the timeline if they had comics around the same time, earlier or whatever. But it was essentially created from comic strips and newspapers.
Right.
And then they put it together in a book, and thus a comic book.
I do kind of have a funny story behind that because I was thinking of Charles Schultz, right?
Right.
So one of the events that I put up, Asian Invasion, we had a guy there. And so he would talk about how he like wanted to be in comics and, you know, this whole story about like that. But he said he would read Peanuts. And immediately when he said he read Peanuts, I looked at him like, oh, fuck, he looks like an Asian version of Charlie Brown. Didn't say it. This was alive. Did not say it. I was like, don't say it. Don't say it. Like, I didn't want to be an asshole, right? And then all of a sudden, one of the people that was part of the event said, yeah, you do kind of look like Charlie Brown. I'm like, he read my mind, even though I didn't want to fucking say anything. And everybody started laughing. I'm like, oh, man. I did not say a thing. I did not open my mouth to say anything. I was like, don't think it, don't say it. And they just said it. He actually looked kind of like upset all the time too. And he kind of like, if it was a drawable, his like brow was constantly furrowed. So I kind of wanted to draw it like that.
I don't think Charlie Brown's an insult, like, but I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted
to. I love so many comic strips, but definitely Peanuts was one of them. My first experience inking, kinda, was I would get the Peanut strip, and I would shade in the characters with a pencil to make them three-dimensional. That was my first experience inking.
Actually, my sister and I think this came from my underground roots. You know, Highlights for Kids, right?
Right.
Yeah, Highlights, the magazine.
Yeah.
So my sister and I, we'd take it, and I don't know. I think my sister is actually a lot better about this shit than I am, but she's more of a corporate person, and I don't say that insultingly. It's just funny. But we actually like literally whited out like all the stupid shit that they would write about the timber toes, and we write like all sorts of fucking bad words in them and shit.
Yeah.
And we would write the story like how we wanted to be just jerks. And I'm like, but I mean, we never did anything stupid. Like we never did drugs or, did anything dumb. So I guess like that kind of got whatever evil rebelliousness that we had about everything out. Like we just
Yeah.
whited it out. My dad had a ton of whiteout because he was a mechanical engineer for Bechtel. And we just took the white out and we just whited it out. My mom was fine with me being an artist. So we just whited it out. We just wrote all sorts of shit in there. Oh, if we found it, man, it's just the language you use, man. I don't know. I mean, I actually would go to the book when libraries were really huge, and some people are like, libraries are still huge. I said, well, they need to kind of adjust to. Oh my God, the Cricket Painter said, wasn't Charlie Brown a cancer kid? I'm like, that is so fucked up. Yeah, he might have had leukemia. Oh my God, I'm going to hell.
No, he was healthy.
Yeah, he was an okay guy. He just was. I think it's just like they made him bald because he really wasn't bald. But like I think in the 50s and earlier, they would give that really close buzz cut to a lot of kids.
Well, his hair didn't grow in yet. He was a baby.
He was like 6, man. He should have had some hair.
Well, I'm sure, like, if there was a real life version of him, he just wouldn't have, he wouldn't have cool hair. He would just have lame hair.
Well, it's like, wasn't Charlie, I mean, wow. I mean, that was, no, he was just depressed all the time. Maybe he had alopecia and that's why he was sad all the time. Fuck. Actually, alopecia, it's weird because alopecia isn't straight baldness. It's actually kind of fucked up because your hair falls out in patches. So you look really patchy and it can affect both sexes. So it's like, oh no, so it's not good. It's not good. It's really kind of messed up to people. But yeah.
Years ago, my friend, he actually found an Charlie Brown shirt and got it. It's basically, what is it, yellow or is it orange? I forget exactly. And the black, pattern line going across the lower bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It was excellent.
Right. I mean, it's just, oh, man.
I had for a while. I threw it out, but for a while I had the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Wait, that one.
Oh yeah, you mean where it was just like all fucked up and it just like looked pathetic and it just like it just basically like went like that.
Yeah, it's the one ornament hanging off of it.
That's sort of depressing, actually. That's funny though.
Well, it was just like a small little kind of tabletop thing, I guess. Thought it was funny.
Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah, I'm like, I just think it's funny. It's like, oh my God. Oh, my cat. Why did you urticate hairs in my face? Now my face is like that. Yeah.
When I was young, I was allergic to cats.
Yeah. Sometimes people grow out of it. Oh yeah, when I went to a library, I would actually check out the old school like illustrations. Like I liked Frank Baum's, like the illustrator. It wasn't Baum himself. He had actually 2 different illustrators. One did the first book and the other one did the rest of them. I like the one that did the rest of them. It was after the Gibson Girl stuff, like the Gibson Girl craze, because it was around that time. And I would actually read Father Knows Best. I kept checking out that book. That dude like died when he was 42. I'm like, what? Jeez. A heart attack.
Huh?
Oh, Father Knows Best, Maggie and Jiggs.
Oh.
He was like,
oh. You were talking to somebody. Like not
No. I mean, we were on the subject of like old cartoons and we got on the subject of like Charlie Brown and I wanted to go back and circle back to the libraries. And I just said, yeah, I would read Maggie and Jiggs. And that's where I kind of got a lot of stuff. Because it was like, to me, that was actually interesting than some of the other cartoons because they weren't bad.
I don't know if I ever watched it.
It's a comic.
I mean, you said it was a cartoon too?
No, a comic. Sorry, it's early.
Oh. Yeah, I know about the cow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I don't think it was ever a cartoon. The Steak and Eggs Every Morning did that to folks back in the 50s. Yeah, and then they had sedentary office jobs because, like, back in the day when you were a fucking farmer, you could work that shit off. And then when post-war happened, it was like, oh, well, we're gonna all have desk jobs now. And like almost the whole generation of men were suffering from CPTSD of some sort. So it was kind of like everybody kind of knew what everybody was going with. So everybody fucking medicated on whatever it was, which was not really a good self-adjustment thing. So, I'm not saying that to like mock anybody that's going through that. I have friends that are combat vets. It's pretty bad, but it's just kind of like, well, you kind of see where that came from. Like a whole generation of men like dealt with that every generation. They thought it was normal, go off to war and you come back and you just go back to life. And it's like, well, some of you have fucking and funny because like a therapist of mine said, actually, not everybody gets PTSD. And I'm like, that's really crazy. Like, I thought that was a defense mechanism of your brain.
I think that's just because like they haven't seen combat.
Well, I mean, like in general, but yeah, like now, like you have people that come back that have CPTSD, men and women. And it's like complex, but they've seen combat, but then you have a bunch of people in the same generation that haven't. So it's sort of like, oh, so this is what, yeah.
I can't believe that if you've seen combat and don't have it.
I mean, there's some people that are sociopathic that they don't get it. I don't know. I mean, as I said, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychotherapist, so I wouldn't know. But that's what my therapist said. I'm like, what? That was weird. But it says, I think meth was over-the-counter medication back then. Oh, yeah, it was. There's a lot of stimulants and shit. It was like, okay, let me go and bump up my fucking, like, thing to being high, and then I'm going to crash. And that's why drinking was really normalized how it was back then. And I'm not saying if you have a drink in the morning, you're an alcoholic. I'm just saying that that's what it is.
So what, Steak and Eggs Every Morning did that to folks back in the 50s?
Probably the heart attack shit when I was talking about the cartoonist that did Father Knows Best.
That makes sense.
Right.
I thought he was talking about PTSD.
Well, I mean, there's PTSD, like civilians can get it.
But... eggs and got PTSD.
Hey, I'll have steak and eggs and PTSD in the morning. High cholesterol meth is a recipe for a heart attack. Yes, it certainly is. Meth does not give you a healthy diet. It doesn't. Because like what you tend to do is like consume a lot more sugar. So it's like they get a craving for sugar, or at least meth heads. And inevitably we just go back to meth heads. It's kind of funny.
Give me some sugar, baby.
Right. I mean, there you go. Well, that's why they suck on their teeth all the time. But that's why their teeth fall out. It's not only that they have an increased appetite for sugar, but they also you actually make less saliva. I got bored and I researched it. I do this thing like I get bored and I research shit all the time. It's like, what does this make this do? And then it's just like, oh, okay.
And also like Army of Darkness. That's where Give Me Some Sugar Baby is from.
Maybe. I mean, Army of Darkness, although, sugar is nice. I mean, we're like animals that want to go and eat sugar. So there you go. I think like,
Evil Dead?
Yeah, I saw like everything up to, there's actually Evil Dead the musical, which I did want to check out. And I actually did, sorry, my nose is itchy. Thanks, spam. I did want to actually, but I think they had the TV show, right? Return of the Evil Dead or something. It was something like Evil Dead. Like it was the TV show where Ash comes back and he was like, oh, whatever. And he's old and shit. And he still works at S-Mart. And then it's this whole other thing.
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it was good too. It sucked, but I think it was watchable eminently. That was the most of the reviews.
I enjoyed the movies,
Right.
and he's been in a ton of stuff. And
Oh, Bubba Hotep looked fucking funny, where he's like Elvis, but Elvis never died. He just faked his
yeah,
death.
it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like with Bruce Campbell movies, like they're just kind of stupid, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's just fun.
he played. There was a series called Burn Notice, where he played kind of a comical guy, but it was a little more straight than his normal thing.
Yeah, I remember Burn Notice. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was good in that. It was a good show.
Yeah, did they actually end the show or did they just cancel it?
Yeah, it was a. He was free of it, or something.
Is the Evil Dead musical an Andrew Lloyd Webber production? No, I don't think so. I think it was just its own thing. But, Andrew Lloyd Webber has done a lot of really crazy ones.
Evil Dead on Broadway. Coming at you.
I mean, it started off stupid and cheesy because it was a low-budget movie, and then it continued on with a stupid cheesiness, which made it sell itself. And they actually interviewed them, and they said, so what was the worst thing about working on the original movie? And they said, we had to use lots of corn syrup for blood. Oh my God, we were all sick of it afterwards. He did Cats.
The original movie was made while he was in college. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's just stupid. It was a stupid low budget movie that had a cult hit. It's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I really like that. I actually played Frankenfurter when we did the movies thing, the live action shit where you throw shit and you yell slut and shit like that at the screen and everything and throwing rice and all that crap.
I never experienced it, but I heard about it.
Oh, it was fucking fun. Hopefully they still continue it. It was really fun. Then they remade it. It wasn't so good because they said they actually used a trans woman for it. And they're like, oh, well, they can't. But I'm like, well, the point is that if you actually looked at Richard O'Brien, he was having a question about his sexuality when he wrote that. And he wasn't sure if he was a guy or girl. He was, trying to figure it out. That's why, like, they had Frankenfurter. He's a transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. He didn't know if he was a transvestite, which is a person that cross-dresses, and they get off on that, right. Or he was actually a transgender or transsexual back in the day, and he actually should have changed his sex or whatever. So that's what he was struggling with. And I think, like, if you get somebody else that does it and then you just make it about that, I think it doesn't really show the inner struggle about what they do. I mean, at least for that. I mean, at least in the second interpretation that I saw. And I mean, as I said, I don't think it would have been bad if they did it, but I just don't think they translated it right. I don't think they quite got what he was trying to do. Because I did read an interview with Richard O'Brien, the guy that did write Rocky Horror Show, and that turned into Rocky Horror Picture Show with Tim Curry.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just my personal take on it. So.
Cats, I think.
Yeah, he did Cats. It was a T.S. Eliot poem. So, but yeah, I mean, it was cool. And Tim Curry actually got kind of annoyed with the role because people were trying to make him into the sex symbol. And he kind of liked it for a while, but then he just said, you know what, this is fucking stupid. You're not paying attention to my acting. So I think he deliberately gained weight so people would leave him alone. I'm like, man, that's kind of fucked up.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's really talented. I'm just sad that he had a stroke and he got kind of fucked up with that. But I didn't know he could sing until, like, I actually saw him sing. And I'm like, holy shit. Because when I was little, the most I saw him was in Clue and stuff like that. So he wasn't singing and stuff. And he was with Susan Sarandon. And I was like, oh, whatever. And then I realized, like, oh, she played Janet in there too. So I think she was in that movie. Was she in Clue?
I believe so.
Yeah. But no, he didn't do Rocky Horror Picture Show was just like kind of a schlocky thing that was very camp.
Yeah. I thought Tim Curry sung something in there.
I mean, he sung other stuff other than Rock Your Picture Show, but I didn't know he could really sing until I actually watched Rock Your Picture Show. I'm like, holy shit, he's a really good singer.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's what you want isn't always what the public wants, blah blah blah.
He actually did do an album for Rock Your Picture Show, or based off of Rock Your Picture Show, not the songs from it, but just in general. And he actually released a couple of albums too, or an album or two afterwards. He totally smashed Susan. She aged well. I'll say that. Susan Sarandon did age well. Isn't she a redhead, or is she a blonde more?
I want to say red, but
yeah, I mean, I've seen her with red hair, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's redheaded. But I've seen her with red hair. I think there's times I've seen her with blonde or strawberry blonde hair.
Maybe strawberry blonde. I'm not remembering.
Hmm.
I think she was a redhead in Bull Durham.
Mm-hmm.
Smash.
Basically, he'd do it. He's like a grandmother I'd like to F. I mean, she aged well, so I don't think there's anything bad.
She's terrific.
Like, guys were really hot for her. Like Uma Thurman, like when you look at her, it's kind of funny because when you look at her, she's all the things that would not be unattractive in a woman. She's kind of got very manly hands. She's very gawky looking. She's got wide set eyes. She looks strange, right? And I'm not saying that to diss her, but just something about her makes her hot. So it's kind of like when people go around saying, I don't really look attractive and everything. It's like, why? Because you don't fit the natural standards. I mean, look at Uma Thurman. When you look at everything about her, she should not be quote unquote pretty, but something about her makes her really beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's what I call glamorous beauty, which is like where your eyes and nose and mouth match up and blah, 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 and all that.
Symmetrical.
Like Hollywood pretty. Mm-hmm. But then there's, you know, like, I think, is it Julianne Moore is pretty. Mm-hmm. I think she's really hot.
Yeah, she's really delicate. Her facial features are very delicate looking. Same thing with Nicole.
She's like the opposite of glamorous pretty, you know. Right. But she's got that vibe about her too. Like, it's also personality, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like Michelle Pfeiffer, she looks fucking good. Still. Yep. And like she looks even kind of odd sometimes, but there's something about her that puts it all together, and she's really beautiful. I mean, when I say that, I'm not saying that to diss them because just to diss them. It's just like when you look at it, it's like just because you're quote unquote considered pretty or you're not, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not beautiful or pretty. There might be just something about you entirely that just seems to make it all work together. That's why it's like one of those things. Hey, I'm almost 50. The Gilf store is now opening.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, for a long time, like Sean Connery had that. So there you go. But I think Patrick Stewart now kind of has that, like, oh, he's not bad for an elderly dude. But I mean, when you actually look at guys that are older, like now when they're aging more towards like 70 or something, they actually look pretty damn good. It's like, whoa, you guys look like 50 and shit, you know?
Yeah, it's funny, like, because there's a lot of stars around my age that are starting to look older, you know. Mm-hmm. Like age is catching up with them, but they still look good. And like Pitt, I think it's around my age, you know.
He's 60. He's 60. But he looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, he's starting to show his age, but he still looks good. I mean, he doesn't look all broken up.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's like this. You can age, but still look really good. And it's like, and I think men are just taking better care of themselves. Like women have always been taught you need to take care of yourself and have your looks. And men are to a point, but they kind of gotten a little bit more of a leeway. But I'm glad that men are actually taking better care of themselves, because sometimes I'll watch dermatology videos and some men don't take care of their skin and it really messes them up. It's not like, oh, they look ugly and old. It's like, no, like literally they start having problems with skin cancer that can be disfiguring, or their nose like starts having these growths and stuff that is disfiguring because due to all the sun damage. It doesn't look healthy. So it's like, I'm glad that men are kind of getting more into the skincare thing now and taking better care of themselves. They really should. Like, I don't mind the rugged look, but sometimes it's like being weathered and rugged does not mean you get broken down, like beating the shit out of you.
Yeah. I went to go pay my rent last week, and here's like a community woman, looks out for the community and makes sure everybody has what they need or whatever. And she was doing like a survey with people. I was like, "You want me to do the survey?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah." Because some woman was doing it with her, so I waited a little bit and went through the whole survey. And like one of the last questions was, "How old were you?" And I said, "I'm 62." And she's like, "Wow!" Like she was shocked. And I was like, "Well, it's nice to hear that people still think I don't look my age."
Yeah.
So like 34 or 35.
Wow. Well, it's kind of weird. Like when we looked at our parents then compared to now, you're like, oh, wow. Like we looked at Wilford Brimley when he was 48. You're like, dude, you look like you're 60.
But
Like,
he looks like a good 60. Like
well,
some
I mean,
guys,
that's the thing. But I mean,
yeah,
also, he kind of in Cocoon, he made himself look older a little bit because he was supposed to play a guy in a rest home.
right, right.
Mm.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. Like, you know, age is such a funny thing.
Yeah, I mean, like people think my mom's 60. It's like, she's older than that, but we'll just leave it at that. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I know people in their 40s and they look 70.
right. It's like some people, like, as my friend Amanda once said, it's like, wow, you look rode hard and put away wet several times.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's generic, sometimes it's just like, because they choose to be more adventurous.
Uh-huh.
Like, lots of things affect your looks and age and blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Stress, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, thank God I'm finally aging into my no kids dad bod. He's also had a long battle with diabetes, who we're talking about a lot of people. But yeah. That's
Dad bod. That's another thing. Like, I'm not a dad, but if I did have a kid and they would say, "Yeah, you got a dad bod," like I understand like how kids can give you a dad bod, but that's also just an age thing too.
right. I mean, well, you thicken with age. Like even my
Yeah.
aunt, she was like talking about, because she worked for Halston and BCBG in one of the design houses, and she said that the pattern of, or aka how it's cut in this context, can actually change as like a woman gets older, or how young and old that a woman gets. So it's like your body's going to be different at 15, 25, 35, 40. It doesn't matter if you got fat or anything. It's just
Yeah.
your body shape just changes.
Yeah.
Like you just have to keep up. Like you just have to keep yourself up. And now everybody's going into adaptogenics and biohacking. So there you go.
Yeah, I got 3 arms.
Mhm.
What?
Right.
So thing stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, I got way too much work and way too much pressure I'm putting on my own self. Um, but it's also like a great feeling.
Mhm.
I haven't vibed like this in a long time because of life and other things.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm in a good place. One thing I would like better is to be faster. Working on it. If I get a little faster, I can knock some of this stuff out and be done with a bunch of things.
Right.
So I guess we'll go a little longer. Let's say another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is there anything? Well, we could talk about like tomorrow begins again the contest for you.
Oh yeah. Crooked Painter later, dude. He got to bounce, but yeah, no, it resumes tomorrow. I should actually give you in the private chat when you get a chance. You can put it up in the description. The link again, basically, I am in the quarterfinals. And basically, this gauntlet's going to go until the 30th. I will say the 31st because, you know, I don't like to go and be cocky. I don't want to be the tortoise and the hare shit. So, but yeah, I guess I'll put this in the chat. Join the chat, connect. Hold on. I'll put this link in here.
Yep.
Sorry, it's verifying shit so I can say it's saying, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I mean, it ends on the 30th, but
Thanks for coming. Thanks for
coming, man. Oh, it's not posting it, which is weird. I guess you'll have to do it. So I joined the chat, but I guess it won't let me do it. So let me just do that.
Private chat and I'll share it.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. I think I just don't have permissions. Like I'm not a mod in your channel or whatever. I forget what permissions you have to have because usually like it'll be okay with me. Like,
oh, you need, let's see. Yeah, you need to be a moderator to post a link.
All right, that's fine.
But yeah, and you can't post here in the stream there, right?
No, I just did it in the private chat. So when you can, just post it in there and do whatever you need to. Sometimes I pin it. Thank you.
It's there, and I'll add it to the description box of the video. And
yay! Yeah, it's kind of funny. As I said, I started on a whim, and then Peter's like, "You should do this," and he's like getting me into it. I'm like, all right, now I'm invested. Damn it! And now I'm a semifinalist. So there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, and that now, you know, now it gets tougher.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't stopped. Like I'm going to stream later on today. I'm going to actually go and review all these guys right here, all the VT stuff right here. So there's like different ones. I've already done this. The spicy level on this is extreme out of like 90 out of 100. It's like eating a habanero. And what it is that these are all lip plumpers. And what lip plumpers will do is that they'll kind of like hyperinflate your lips. And because it irritates it. It's like when they say bee stung lips. Yeah, that's what it is. So these are all level 30. So it's not going to be bad. I deal with spicy all the time. So probably what I'm going to start doing, I'm just going to wipe it off every time and do it and just show you what it looks like and do it their way. And I have a couple of knives here, like my straight razor to cut open the packages because these are all sealed. I love VT Cosmetics because I started using their PDRN balm and stuff. I know I'm not trying to make this into a makeup channel. I'll talk more about it later, but it like literally kicked it back 10 years. I'm like, holy shit. You know, it like literally did that in one day. I was like, because before, like, I try not to, like, I get into makeup and skincare, but the thing is that I was mostly primarily things of hydration and all that. And I didn't really want too much bullshit or anything. But what ended up happening is like, oh shit, that worked instantly. So it's like, or they'd say, oh, your skin looks so good. I'm like, okay. But no, this really fucking worked. So I love VT. They're great. So yeah, check them out. I have them in my Amazon store. I also have it on my wish list through Throne. So there you go.
So this is what I've done thus far. Yeah, what I'll do is full screen it.
Yeah, it looks really good so far. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I haven't done a ton on it, but it's a beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice.
and you can tell what it looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun piece.
Right.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And it'll look great once it's completely inked and colored and all that. And yeah, so thank you all for watching.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, I know we didn't have a huge crowd show up. It's Sunday at midday here. But sometimes it bees like that.
Well, I mean, it's just we had a nice guy like go and kick in. So I mean, it's there. It's on the internet. People are going to look at it. And
People always watch it later.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So I want to do this. It depends on all my schedules and deadlines and projects and whatnot. But I want to do this once or twice a week, at least stream. I'll probably still upload videos, and I've been doing a bunch of shorts. It's funny, the last short I uploaded was showing off the last page of retro that I inked, and that has officially got the most views on my channel.
Oh, there you go.
So, which is pretty insane. So thank you everybody who checked that out.
Very good.
Yeah, and yeah, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends. I'll be back around soon enough. Where can people find you and you do?
I am I'm sorry, I am HoraToraStudios. It's early in the morning, so we're ill-timed, I guess. HoraToraStudios all across the board. I am now on Kick. So on streaming platform Kick, but I am under Twitch, YouTube, and Kick through that username. I'm on TikTok, but it's horatora.studios. But I can go ahead and give you those links. So you can put it in the description. I'm also on Facebook too.
Do you have a Linktree? Yeah, you have a Linktree, right?
Yeah, I have a Linktree. So I mean, it does, but the thing is, Linktree doesn't show everything. But I do have a SIG file, so I'll go ahead and I'll copy and paste that.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Till next time.
And I'll be on later to get that done.
All right. Take care.
All right. Talk soon. Thank you.